everybody's doing really well today. I am here to do a part one of, I'm not fully sure how many parts kind of video, but it's going to be my entire coloring book collection. So today I'm going to go through some of my non-color by number books. So I wanted it to be a two-parter because that's what I did last year. But I have kind of acquired more books than I thought I did. So I think having all of my non-color by number books in one video would just be super duper lengthy. So I'm gonna split that up into two, and I think I can fit all of my color by number into one video because I have like a smaller amount of those. But without further ado, we can dive into some of my non-color by number books. That's a mouthful. So they're not in any particular order. I organized them by size and then just grabbed a pile. So the first book is Reptiloids 2 by, where you go? Vasil Psycho, I think. I know I struggled with saying the name in my haul where I talked about this book. So this book is quite new to me. I mean, I ordered it right as it came out, but I had it shipped here to my parents' house. And if you are a regular or a returning visitor to my channel, you know that I've been living abroad. So I haven't had this book like physically in the same space as me for too long. So I haven't colored in it yet. I don't own the first one, but I've seen so many cute pictures done in the first one. And this book is just really weird. I really like the dashy kind of arts. I really like this one. How sweet. So I like that it's also a smaller book. I don't have too many small books. I think I have like maybe 2 or 3. So I'm really, really excited to get to this one. And I think if I like this, like I enjoy my experience, which I think I will, but I can always get the first one just because that's also kind of a crowd favorite, I would say. And when I got this, it was quite affordable. I want to say it was like under $4. So I'm not sure if that was an introductory price because I did get this like right as it came out, or if that's the permanent price of it. I'm not sure. So I do the videos where I talk about, you know, the upcoming releases or the newly released books. And that's kind of how I saw that it was coming out, and I was able to get it like either the first or the second day that it was released. Something crazy like that. So the next book is my Winnie the Pooh book from Hatchet Heroes. I had picked this up off of German Amazon when I was there, so it was a nice and affordable price, and the shipping was free, which I know is not a luxury a lot of us have. Now that I'm in the US, I no longer have that luxury, which really sucks. But I know there's other websites where you can get the Hatchet Heroes books for either reduced shipping or free shipping. So I love Winnie the Pooh. Also, if you're a returning viewer, you probably know that. So I did a full flip of this book on my channel because I hadn't seen anybody else work in it. It is, I would say, you either love it or you hate it because there's a lot of like patterny pages in here. So I have actually worked in this book. Shocker, shocker. So I've done a couple. So I did this page with the, you know, Pooh and the gang. Like I said, there's just a lot of these kind of pages. I've done one of those kind of pages. For example, here, I just used gel pens. I just wanted something super easy. And then I had this random piglet sticker from, frankly, I don't remember where. So I just stuck that in there. So I think if you enjoy wallpaper pages, oh, here's another like wallpapery one that I did. So I think there's definitely a lot of potential in this book, but yeah, don't really expect really complex scenes. It's more something like this, which obviously I also did. This is what I did this year. So I think these books or these pages are very relaxing. There's also some bookmarks in the end that you can cut out, color, laminate, whatever you want. So the bookmarks are single-sided, which is lovely, but the remainder of the book is not. So alcohol markers, probably not the best unless you're okay with sacrificing the back of one of the pages. The next book is something I have also not colored in. Gosh, this is embarrassing. I saw this on Etsy and I was like, oh my gosh, like this cover got to me. It's so beautiful. It's called Soft Ladies by Sonia Steegman. I also follow her on Instagram at Sonia Steegman. Her art style is beautiful. She also does a lot of stickers and I think like notebooks and stuff with her beautiful art style. So I just fell in love with it. She's also located in Germany. So when I was there, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll order it. The shipping was really affordable. And yeah, it was just really, really beautiful. I really wanted to do this page because it's the cover page. I did a full flip of this book as well. I don't think these pages would take too long because a lot of them don't have a background. This one to me just screams Hermione, especially with the cat. So I think things like this will take a little bit longer, but there's some easier ones like this as well. So I'm really excited, and she included this beautiful postcard, which I think is the colors that I'm going to try and copy for the image itself. So really excited. Like, how beautiful is this? Just a really nice postcard. So I'm keeping that as a color guide. The next book, and as I said, like obviously these are in zero order. So the next book is A Million Christmas Cats, Festive Felines to Color by John Bigwood. And I'm actually working on an image in here at the moment. I love this book. It is beyond precious. It's a nicer paper, not super nice, but it's nicer. And the images are just so whimsy and so cute. And I think this is also another like crowd favorite, I would say. I definitely see it on a lot of channels. I promise I've worked in here, out here. So this is from last year. No, it's from 2020, end of 2020. So like that. Then I did this one in 2021. So I used glitter. I hope you could see that. It's just a really fun and whimsy book. Okay, I've done more pages in here, I promise. Oh, I did this double page spread last year. Yes, end of last year. So really enjoyed that. So this is the one I'm working on at the moment. So hopefully you'll see it in the December wrap up or January wrap up. So I've done, you know, this little guy here, and then I started working on the two little skating mice. So it's such a beautiful book. And since I was working on it and I was like putting all of my books together for this video, oh, I've also done this one. I wanted the cats to be green so there could be a Christmas tree. So since I was coloring in this, I was like, gosh, like I really, really wonder if this artist has other books because I haven't seen anything else by him. So I looked it up and there's no other coloring books. I think there were maybe some kid ones, but nothing like this, which is just so sad. Because if he had something similar to this, like similar style, I would purchase it in an absolute heartbeat. And I know I wouldn't be the only one. But while I was looking this up on Amazon, oh, forgot to mention, everything will be linked down below. My apologies. So while I was looking this up on Amazon, I noticed that this book is out of print, which I hope doesn't mean permanently, because that would be terrifying. Not that I need another copy. Like, I obviously still have plenty to color in here, but I just love this book so much that I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope other people will still have the chance to pick it up. On Amazon, there are some like French and Spanish versions, I think, available, which just means the title is different, but like the images are the same. So if you are interested in this book, I would maybe try to hurry up. Like, I don't, like, obviously I'm not trying to scare anybody into purchasing anything, but I don't know if this book is permanently going out of print, which genuinely also makes me like want to purchase another copy, which is nuts because I've only done like 6 images in here, I think. So there's more than enough for me to color, but I just adore this book so, so much. that it saddens me that some people might not be able to get their hands on it. But that's also just me being absolutely unnecessarily obsessed with certain coloring books. Moving on to another really brand new book to me, A Million Magical Creatures by Lulu Mayo. I talked about this in my recent haul as well. I snagged this off of Book Deposit. Is it? No. Book Outlet, sorry. I snagged this off of Book Outlet for a really good price. It was like under $4, maybe $3.50, $3.75, something like that. And if you were thinking of checking out some Lulu Mayo books, definitely check out Book Outlet. I would say that they have at least one of her books, like at all times, basically. So I got A Million Magical Creatures. Have not colored in it yet, but I am really excited to. So, oh, that would have been a fun one for Halloween, or this little witch. So, really, really sweet. Lots of really weird, like, what is this? What is this thing? Oh gosh, it's such a sweet book. It's my first ever Lulu Mayo book, and I'm just really excited to have one now. People also tend to really like her work, and she's still releasing books, which is amazing. So I think the fear of, you know, like her books going out of print is much smaller as compared to the John Bigwood book. But something I've always wondered is, like, were these, like, was John Bigwood, like, releasing this book before Lulu Mayo? Was Lulu Mayo before this one? Because, like, the size is basically identical. The paper is very similar. Obviously, the title is A Million something. And then, like, obviously the art style is different, but I feel like it's the same type of whimsy, like, weird characters. Both books have, like, the white background and the black background. Let's see if I can find a page. Of course, not now. Oh, here. So, yeah, I'm just curious. Like, was that just a coincidence? Was this somehow planned? Kind of, you know, what's the gossip? So if anybody knows, let us know down below. I'll be very curious to know. But both are great. And then, as I mentioned, have been living abroad. So I left a lot of my stuff in my parents' basement. Typical. typical, right? But I moved to Germany, so I wasn't gonna bring, like, everything that I own. I didn't need to bring pots and pans, for example, with me, because I was moving to, you know, only for a couple of years. I knew I wasn't moving permanently. So I left a bunch of stuff in my parents' basement, and this is such a story time. But when we were decorating the Christmas tree a couple of weeks ago, we ran out of gold decorations. And by we, I mean my mother and I. So we ran out of gold decorations. And we take holidays very seriously in this household. So we're like, well, we can't add other colors. We need gold. So I remembered that I had my Christmas decorations in the basement and that I also had gold decorations. So I was like, hey, like, I'm just going to run downstairs. I'm going to grab those decorations and we can finish decorating the tree. So I go down to the basement, and as I'm, like, digging around, I find this coloring book. I also found Prismacolors in the basement. I was like, how did I not know that I had owned Prismacolors before? So when, like, the last 6 months to a year, when I was still in the US, I was slowly dabbling in adult coloring. So I remember purchasing a set of pencils off of Amazon, but I didn't remember them being Prismacolors. So I was like, okay, like, I was clearly way too fancy for my own good at the time, because Prismacolors are not cheap, but they're super duper nice. Anyways, so I found this coloring book, and gosh, good golly. So I have done some images in here. So this is from, gosh, 2018, 2019. And I did these images, and I remember thinking that these were superb. Like, I had these hanging in my room. I had, like, a little board thing where you can, like, pin things to, and this was, like, I think both of these were hanging up. Definitely this one, I'm not sure about this one. And I remember being, like, so proud of these. So my coloring has definitely improved. But this book is something that, like, if I was to see it now, I honestly wouldn't purchase it. But at the time, like, I'm pretty sure it's Shutterstock images. They're pretty zen doodly. Like, this is potentially stolen because it definitely looks like Margaret Sarnat. Is that her name? She works with Creative Haven. I think that's her name. So I don't know if these are like authentic. They're definitely not by one artist. So I don't know. I would not purchase this now. Also, this is called Adult Coloring Book Design, Stress Relief Coloring Book. But this was pre me being really into coloring or really knowing what I liked, what was out there. Like, I will never color that one. Oh, I guess I started another one. Look at that. I actually did blending in this one. Hallelujah. So we will see. Oh, those are actually kind of cute. But yes, it was really interesting to find this in the basement and remember when I colored these and I was like, yeah, like, I'm going places. Like, I am an artiste. These are fantastic. And now looking back, I'm like, ooh, girl, I should have blended better. The next book is a little dirty. And that's, I don't know what it is, but something during the commute from Germany, smudged. But I got this off of German Amazon when it came out. I also did a full flip of it on my channel. It's a really beautiful book. Like, just stunning and whimsical. And I want to color all of these images because look how sweet they are. I mean, come on with these like cute little kitties, and there's like a little mushroom vehicle. And the paper in these books is nice. This is not my first book by this company. Also, I don't know what that says. I never learned German, but it's by Crystal Vogels, I would say. Probably not how you pronounce it, but it's just a really adorable book. And yeah, again, I do have a full flip if you're interested. I think you can get it on German Amazon or some other various Amazons. I don't know if the US Amazon sells it, but if you have access to other Amazons, I would highly recommend this book. It's really, really sweet. It's just like a little fairy tale book, and I would love, love, love to color in it. Of course, I haven't yet, but I swear I will. It really upsets me to have books that I haven't colored in, so hopefully I will get to it soon. The next book I actually have colored in, and it's Disney Dreams Collection by Thomas Kincaid. I think everybody knows this book. It's pretty popular. Also, a lot of people are absolutely terrified of this book because, this is a work in progress. You have an image on the left, and then there's a line version of it on the right, and you copy it. This has been a work in progress for multiple years now. Like, I haven't touched this in a very long time. But so far, I'm really liking it, actually. So one day I shall go back to this, but I have finished a page, and it looks like this. So I think, and I'm also very guilty of this, is that we kind of get ourselves into a headspace where we feel like we have to copy the image on the left. You know, it has to look just as amazing, just as beautiful as the one on the left. However, Thomas Kincaid is a professional artist. I myself would not define myself as a professional artist, so I don't know why I am mentally holding myself to the same standards, but I am. And then also, the images that you see on the left are oil paintings. You know, I'm coloring with colored pencils. So again, I'm very guilty of this as well, but I have heard many people mention that these books intimidate them because they feel like their result has to be comparable to the left side. So, I mean, no doubt this book is stunning. When I was moving, I decluttered a lot of my books, but this one didn't even cross my mind to declutter just because I love it. And I do want to one day finish the Mickey page. And I do really like the Winnie the Pooh page. I think it's even my profile picture on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think it is because I love that image. Next book I got off of Etsy, but I know it's also sold on Amazon. American Amazon as well. And it's called My Secret Bookish Life, a coloring book for book lovers. I love books, love reading. So when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, it combines two of my hobbies, reading and coloring. So yes, please. And it has inspirational quotes inside. I'm not a quote coloring kind of gal, but the quotes are on one side and then the images on the other side. So it's like, okay, I can go with that. I did do a full flip on my channel. And this is the only page I've done in here. And I like this quote: take a book to bed with you, books do not snore. So I thought that was funny. I really enjoyed coloring this. I did include a lot of metallic gold pen in here. I hope you can see that. So that's the only page I've done in here. But I have a full flip on my channel if this book seems of interest to you. I like it. I really, really like it. It is alcohol marker friendly. I did do alcohol markers in here. I hope you could see some of that. So I just need to pick it up again. It's been a while. I did this in the end of 2021. So it's been almost, actually it's been over a year. So I need to pick it up again. But as you're probably noticing, I own a lot of coloring books. So just unfortunately not enough time to color everything that I like. But this book is really, really cute. And then diving into my Rita Berman collection. So I have 5 of her books. I have the 4 seasonal ones and then this one, which is the My Trip Around Europe, which came out, I think last year, right? I think it came out in fall of 2021 or August 2021. And then in 2022, she released her My Trip Around Asia, which I don't yet own because frankly, I just haven't colored enough in this one to justify purchasing another one. But Rita Berman is one of my favorite artists. I love her stuff. You can't go wrong with a Rita Berman book, in my humble opinion. So I've done a couple images, I think 2, if I can locate them. I swear I colored in here. I pinky promise. There we go. So I did this page in July of this year. Really like it. Nothing fancy with the color palette. I had started this page and then like set it aside for like over 6 months. So it was me completing a whip. And then recently I did this page, which I really, really like. So I did it in September of this year and I was flipping through this book and this page just really stuck with me. So love it. I think this is part of the, is this part of the Lisbon section? I don't know. I mean, Lisbon. Yeah. So I think this is part of the Lisbon section. So love that. Been to Lisbon. Great time. The next book is the winter book. And this one upsets me because I haven't had a chance to color in it this winter season. Hopefully I will still get to it. It's definitely colored in, like, so I have colored in here, which is lovely. I've done some double page spreads. This has been a whip for 2 years. There's some black backed images. Again, with Rita Berman, you honestly cannot go wrong. Love her stuff. I love this image. I did this in July of last year. I love it. I really like how it turned out. I think there's also like an advent calendar countdown in here somewhere. I think I showed that one. I could have sworn there was an advent calendar countdown. Oh, I also did this one a while ago to test out some pastel pens. No, sorry, pastel pencils I think I was testing out. I don't love the finished result, but it's done. Okay, there has to be a countdown like to Christmas, which obviously holidays are over. I hope everybody had a lovely holiday season. Oh, I already colored it, that's why. My bad. I was looking for a blank section, but there is like an advent calendar countdown if you were looking for a book that had one, maybe for next year. Just a lovely book. Then I have my autumn one, also colored in. I've been meaning to do this vegetable page. There are some images in her books like this that are more like patterny, wallpapery, but I still enjoy them, and I usually just take my pens to them, like my gel pens. Nice corn page. a little bit more wallpapery. So she definitely includes wallpaper pages. So if you want a book that has none, maybe not her stuff. But this is very glittery. I think this is 100% gel pen, if I'm not mistaken. It's from 2020, so it's a bit hard for me to remember at this point. But I also don't think I colored in this one in a while. Again, which is so sad. I don't know if I colored in it this year. Let's see. So I have that from 2020. That's from 2020. Did I really not touch this book in 2 years? 2020. Oh gosh, I'm about to expose myself. I don't know when this was done. 2021. Okay, so at least I touched it in 2021. Oh gosh, I think that might be it. Oh, I'm exposing myself. Yep, that's it. So I haven't touched it in the whole year of 2022, which is absolutely awful, but lovely book. Then I have my spring something. Again, my German is awful. Also colored in. Let's see if I touched, oh, I did touch it in 2022 because I remember doing this image. So this is from, what month is that? I can't tell if that's a 4 or an 11. I want to say it's an 11. Maybe it's a 4. I don't remember, but I do, at least I colored in it this year. So really sweet page. Again, can't go wrong. This was definitely for a video from 2021. I had tested out a new set of pastel pencils that I had gotten. I did not like the pencils. They have been donated since then. But I like their finished result. So yeah, I really like this image. Something that I have noticed is that some of the images in her books are duplicates. So if I grab, this is the autumn one that I was just looking at. Where is that image? Was it in this one? No, I think it was in the winter one. Give me a second. So in theory, the books should not have any of the same image. But is this not the same picture, but just like mirrored? Right? Like I'm not imagining this. So be aware of that. I mean, I don't really mind. It's not like every single page is a duplicate. But when I had colored this one, I think later I was flipping through this book and I saw it and I was like, wait, I have done that image. So just something to keep an eye out for. But I mean, she does also have like a collection book of the seasons where she pulled some images from the 4 seasonal books. So if you don't want to get all 4 of the seasons, which understandable, you can get the compilation book. So this one is also from this year, I think. I just had really a lot of fun with this. For some reason, it really spoke to me as like being Scandinavian folk art. So that's the look I was going for. Oldie but a goodie from 2021. I remember this image because I had just gotten my first Brute Funner set, and this was my tester page for the video I made on the Brute Funners. So there's probably some more colored ones in here. Just a really, really nice book. Oh, I love this page. And a lot of people have done that one, and it's beautiful. Then moving on to the last seasonal book from Rita Berman, which is the summer one. And this was the first one I ever got, and I think this is the one I've done the most in. So I have this image that I really, really like. I think it's from 2021. I don't believe I dated it. I try to date my pages, but sometimes I just become a little bit of a space cadet and completely forget. But I really like this one. This is from 2020. This is a really old one. Let's see what else I have done in here. As I'm like, I've colored so much. So this is from last year. This was me testing out my first, well, what I thought was my first set of Prismas, but then I found another set in the basement that I apparently had for years. But this is done with a 12-pack of Prismas. So not the best blending, but I still enjoyed it, and I was just so happy to own Prismacolors, which I'm still really excited about. I love my Prismacolors. I think, yeah. So then I did this image. This was a buddy color back in 2020 with Jamie's Coloring Love, I believe. And we had gone for very different looks, which I thought was really interesting. This is from this year. Really like my little fruit page. 2020. As I said, this is definitely the most colored of her books that I have. And then also 2020. That's when I was like really getting into coloring. This page was done first. I wanted to test out a bunch of markers, so I really don't like this page, but I wanted to see how the markers worked on this paper. The answer is not well, since they bled through. And then like a year later, almost a year later, I did this page by copying the colors from this page, but in glitter gel pen. So I hope you can see. It is very, very shiny. But yeah, another wonderful, wonderful book. Look at these sheep. Gosh. Yeah, whenever I do videos like this where I flip through my collection or, you know, I talk about a certain subsection of my collection, I just get so giddy to color in all of these books. And I mean, that's great, but it's just so sad that time is so limited. You know, wouldn't it be lovely to just color 24/7? Oh, that would be amazing. The next book is my one and only Maria Trolle book. It's called Moon Valley. I picked it up like last week, I want to say. I picked it up, gosh, after I did my haul. I went to a bookstore to purchase some gifts for my stepdad. I got him some books. And then, of course, I saw a coloring book and I was like, well, I need to get it. So, yeah. So I picked this up. The paper is quite nice. Maria Trolle is quite well known for her beautiful artwork and her like whimsical characters. I really like this one. I don't have anything else by her. I just have never gotten to around to getting one of her books, but I'm very happy to finally have one. I have to say I was quite surprised by how detailed some of these pages are. Like those leaves are pretty small, so we'll have to be very careful. Nice double page spread. I'm very irked by the fact that it goes into the center. Like, coloring book artists, companies, please stop doing this. Nobody likes this. Like, how am I supposed to wedge my pencil in there? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I get it. It's difficult with double page spreads because, like, what do you do? Like, split the page up? But, I mean, this... unacceptable. And Kirby Rosanna's does the same thing, and it really upsets me. So another really beautiful page. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, so sweet. So happy to have this book. Hopefully we'll be getting to it in the near future. And I just checked the time, and this video is already over half an hour long. So I think I'm going to pause it there, and then next video we'll pick up with my Hannah Carlson collection. I still have my few Creative Haven books. Then I also have Johanna Basford and like miscellaneous books as well. So keep an eye out for part 2, 3, and potentially 4. Goodness gracious, I have a shopping problem kind of video where I talk about all of my coloring books. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!